Hello and Muraho! I'm here in Rwanda, wandering the streets of Kigali. And today I'm going to give you a bit of an exploration of the country, what it's like to be here for 3 weeks. I've been here building a bridge in a remote community called Karambo. And what I've found is this country is all about community, culture, music, and connection. And of course, on this channel, it's also about the beers. So, join me on this adventure and see what 3 weeks in Rwanda is all about. First, let's talk about Rwanda. If you've never been here before, it really exceeds expectations. It's widely known as the land of 1,000 hills, and it really is. Everywhere you look are magnificent hills filled with forests and crops. Today, Rwanda is one of the cleanest and safest countries you can travel to. But you cannot truly appreciate modern Rwanda without looking back at its history. Just over 30 years ago, in 1994, there was a genocide that totally tore this country apart. What makes modern Rwanda so inspirational is how it's responded to that. The country has rebuilt itself and has chosen unity over division and reconciliation over revenge. That optimism and working together really resonates throughout the whole country, and you see it in everything that you do from the moment you step off the plane. If you're planning a trip here, the bucket list items are amazing. You can go on safari or trek deep into the jungle to stand just meters away from mountain gorillas. A truly humbling experience. There are lots of other places to visit where you can sit back and relax, like the Twin Lakes, Lake Brewery and Lake Rwanda. And to fuel all that exploring, you can get stuck into Rwanda's coffee. Places like Question Coffee don't just produce a great cuppa or tasting experience, but they're actually social enterprises directly supporting women farmers across the country. But the real heart of my trip wasn't a holiday. I was actually here with my work team, partnering with an organisation called Fika to build a footbridge in a community called Karambo. In rural areas, a river can completely cut off access to schools, medical facilities and markets during the rainy season. You can see here the river we were building a bridge over. This footage was taken at the start of the dry season, and you can imagine what this gorge does when the rainy season comes and all the water comes rushing off those hills into the valley. Our team worked alongside the local Karambo community and Fika staff and were on site for 2 weeks. The community had constructed the foundations for the bridge prior to our arrival, so when we arrived on site we completed the main superstructure of the bridge, including installation of the cables, installing the decking, fencing, backfilling the foundations with rock, and then putting the finishing touches on the bridge with painting and landscaping. It was so inspiring to see the strength and resilience of the community, and in between the construction activity, we had the chance to get to know the community over a shared game of soccer. Another of the big highlights was the reaction from the local kids watching the construction every day, welcoming us with smiles, fist bumps, high fives, singing and dancing. We were so fortunate to be able to celebrate the opening of the bridge with the Karambo community, and it was amazing to hear the stories of how the bridge will change their lives, from access to school, medical facilities, and the ability to sell their goods all year round, and even the benefits that this paid employment would have on them for planting this year's crops. It was also awesome to see the kids embrace the bridge after watching it be constructed day by day, and to generally celebrate with the whole community, with lots of singing and dancing. If you want to support the great work that Fika does, I've dropped a link in the description. In Rwanda, you can't go 4 hours without singing and dancing, and our construction site was absolutely filled with it. I also brought my trusty uke across, hoping that it would knock down some of the language barriers, and it certainly did. It was a real hit with the community, kids, and particularly when we visited the local school. It felt only right to donate the uke at the end of the visit, and I hope it will continue to keep the music going and bring joy. Now, you know this channel, we can't visit a country without checking out the beers. Now they've got all sorts of beers there. There's a stack of mass-produced cheap, crisp and highly drinkable lager beers like Mutzig, Skol and Primus. I love this one. It was a shout out to one of my favourite bands of the 90s. And there was a couple more premium beers like the Virunga Gold, a tasty Pilsner sitting at about 6%. And my favourite was the Virunga Mist, a great dark beer coming in at 6.5%. You can also taste some of the traditional heavy hitting banana beer, which normally comes in about 14.5%. You can grab it at some of the touristy places like the Gorilla Guardians Village, and the beer there was a bit of an acquired taste. Or you can get it at some of the high-end restaurants, and I tasted one at a classy fusion restaurant in Kigali. That was interesting, but very drinkable. And that's a great segue into Rwanda's first and only independent craft brewery, Kweza. It's a fantastic women-led venture, bringing world-class beers using local ingredients like sorghum. When I visited, they were coming off the back of a challenging year. They'd survived a massive 9-month legal dispute with their landlord that illegally shut them down, but they fought back, relocated, and by an absolute stroke of luck, I happened to be there on the first day where they were brewing in the new facility. They were low on stock due to the shutdown, but I got to try the Sambi Golden Ale, which was delicious. I can't wait to see them up and running at full capacity soon. I've dropped the link down to find out a little bit more about Kweza in the description if you wanted to find out more or support them. What an amazing story of resilience. Rwanda is an amazing country. Whether you're going there to see the touristy sites, to build a bridge, or taste some great beers, it really has something for everyone. It will also remind you to find the joy in the simple things, like singing and dancing and beers, and the power of human connection. So, I'm about to leave Rwanda, and hopefully you enjoyed that journey. If you like what you see here, please subscribe, and we'll catch you later. Kabuzim gacho. Cheers.